Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. We continue our series creating a Flask app as a blind developer. Yesterday we finished the first episode, which was to set up the Flask application and to set up our environment, creating a virtual environment, creating app UI, creating templates. And this episode, we will talk about a little bit more about templates and how you can use template inheritance. You can return different pages, you can pass a data to a specific page. You can use template inheritance properly. We haven't discussed that topic yesterday. We just created the templates folder and index and about a page, but we haven't created super template. So yesterday we created templates. We created about a page, index page, but we haven't created base template. So today we will create it. So right click. And by the way, if you are not following the buttons I'm clicking or the menus I'm choosing because I'm magnifying the entire screen, sometimes you would miss a certain item. Don't worry, I will put every single episode in GitHub. So you will find source code in my GitHub account and the link will be in the description always. So in our template, we right click and we choose HTML file. By the way, I'm using PyCharm. If you haven't watched the last video, I chose to start the project with PyCharm IDE. You don't have to use PyCharm. You can use any IDE that you want. I find PyCharm to be accessible for me as someone who uses screen readers and magnifications because of my poor eyesight. But you don't have to use it. It's just a choice of mine. So we will call it a base HTML. So here is the title. So we don't need the title to be static because sometimes the page, the route passes a title. So we say if there's a title, we will say title and we will give the name of the website here or whatever that you want to show after the title. Then we will say if the person doesn't pass any title, we will say codelogs.net. Codelogs.net is just my personal website. That's why I'm using it. In the body, we'll create a place that other subtemplates can inherit from. Say blog content, and we will end here, end block. You don't have to add content, but it is nice to comment for yourself. Here at the top, you can write the address of the website if you want. You can say index now. Home. I'm going to say codelogs.net. So this would be the base template. If you go to index, we don't need all of these, so we're gonna delete it. We will say here at the top, extends we say block content and we say end block content. And we can write anything we want. We can write anything we want. You can say index here. And we have to also change the about page. We can retain the table that we wrote yesterday. We can copy this. And we will delete the entire content after we copied the the table. You say base HTML block content and block, and you can create the table here, adding here about page. So I think we are good here. Let's run the app. Yesterday, in order to run the application, what I did was I said Python 3, then we say app.py, which works. But another way that you can run the app would be you can say export. If you are using Mac, people who are using Windows, it is a little bit different. You can find it on Google if you look up how to start Flask server Windows. But in Mac, what you would do is export, you say Flask in uppercase, and you say app.py, and then all you say is Flask run. Now we have Flask running. As you can see here, there is the code logs that we created. We also need to add, I forgot, we need to add the about page in the base HTML in addition to here we'll say about page. We run again. If we shut down and we run again, this time we will use Python. When we run, we can see there is about page, and when we click it, the about page comes up. When we click the code logs, I made another mistake. We don't need the index, we just need the / because our app only accepts this as index. We can write here, we can say index here, but it would be an unconventional. It wouldn't be okay. You know, once we refresh it, index works. But I don't recommend you writing / index because nobody does in web applications, right? So the index works, the about page works. I also want to show you how you can pass data between the route to the template. But I already did yesterday this, like user, it goes user. But just to review, we will create books here. I will say list of books. User is reading. The user has one book. The title would be, one book I am currently listening as an audiobook is The River War by Winston Churchill. That's a very interesting book. It was written in 1899 and it is free. You can find it in Project Gutenberg. It's in the public domain in USA. So here's the author. So we will give the author here, and we'll say the pages, maybe we will just estimate 350 pages. The second book I recently completed is another public domain book. It's called 5 Weeks in a Balloon by Jules Verne. It's also an interesting book. You can read it in Project Gutenberg if you have the time. So the author would be Jules Verne, And again, we just estimate the pages to be 300, probably higher, but I just like using this as an example. It's not one-to-one match. Books. So we created a list of books here, and we are passing it to the index template. So we will go to the index here. We don't need to state that it's the index. We say books here, and we will use a for loop here to show all the books. For book in books, and for you say author, not author, but you have to write the title first. Author would be second. Author. And pages. Book pages. It will not look pretty, but it will look just fine. If we go to the code logs, which is our home page, here are the books, in the index, the title, author. As you can see, we need to separate it, visually. They're kind of the same. And one way we can do it is put in a div. And we will say style. Later we will use Bootstrap framework to make the layout a little bit better, but now we will just use simple CSS. Margin 10. Yeah, they added margin to both sides, but what we are interested in bottom, right, on top also. Yeah, I think this is a little bit better, but not much. So here is how you can use for loop in a template, and here is how you can go from page to page. If you go to the view source, you can see the inheritance work. You see the index content here, the two divs that we created, and you see the title, the title containing about codelogs.net, which is, these are like the parent class that every other page inherits. This works. So the template inheritance works just fine. That would conclude the episode. Just like I said, I will put this in my GitHub. So if you want to copy it, if you want to study it and follow along the series, you can get it. I even have subtitles and transcripts, inside the video. So if you have any kind of difficulty understanding my accent or my speech, you don't have to listen to me. You can just read the subtitle as you watch it. Thank you for watching and following this tutorial. I hope you find this helpful. If you did, please give this video a like. And if you haven't already following and subscribing this channel, please subscribe. I really need to reach 1,000 subscribers. So thank you, and I will see you tomorrow.